Good morning, YouTube. It's been a while. I apologize for not posting a video. I've had some software issues, and it's been a while since I could get back online. And today I thought I'd bring you a treat. This is a Remington No. 4 rolling block, and it's in a caliber that you'll probably encounter with a lot of these older guns, and that's 32 rimfire. This will shoot either 32 short or 32 long. Now, 32 rimfire, a lot of people might not have heard of it, was popular from the late 1860s until the early 1920s and kind of died off around World War II. And then most of the big makers stopped reloading it, or stopped loading the ammo, in around 1970. And Navy Arms was the very last, and their ammunition was made in Brazil, and you could either get it in 32 long or 32 short. And that at that time was very expensive, and now if you can find it, it's about $150 a box. So, and 32 rimfire, what is that rated at? Well, the factory loads around 90 grain bullet and about 1100 feet per second. That's pretty close to what 3220 is. 3220, 100 grain bullet is about 1200 feet per second. So it's not quite at 3220's range, but it's close with 32 long. 32 short out of a rifle is about 950 feet per second, and it was an 80 grain bullet. There's a few other loadings here and there, but those are the most common. So the biggest problem is there's no ammo for these, or if it is, it's very expensive. So how do you shoot this? Well, that's thanks to Dixie Gun Works, and they have come up with this. And these are reloadable shells for 32 rimfire. Now, how does that work? You're saying, well, 32 rimfire is not reloadable. Well, let me get this to focus here and I'll show you. 32 rimfire is if you use Dixie's shells. There's another company out of France that does this as well, but they are very expensive, and more so than Dixie. And to even just buy 25 bullets from this company out of France is $25, and that's not including the shipping. All you're getting is 25 bullets. By the time you get done with shipping to the US, you're over $40, $45 just for 25 bullets. Now, I could normally get 100 lead bullets, which is what these would be, for this, for like a small caliber, for maybe $20 or $30. So, and that's 100 bullets. So it's very expensive. And the problem with 32 rimfire is Dixie suggests using a 310 round ball, and that's what I've used. And I've got 3 of these cases, and I have filed a flat spot on the bottom of all of these round balls, and I weighed them all out to about 42 grains. Now, why you do that is because these are sealed with black powder, and you need a tight seal against the black powder in a cartridge. I'm actually using 777 2F, which you can use, but you can't compress it as much. There are rules, and I suggest before you look at it, you make sure you know what you're doing. You look up all the safety hazards for FFF. Now, what you do is you prime these with either a 22 blank or a 22. In my case, I'm using a 22 short that I took the bullet out and powder out of. And you can see, kind of see it there. You see how it's basically the 22 empty case that's not fired now essentially becomes a primer. Now, the problem with finding bullets for this is that the 32 rimfire uses what's called a heeled bullet. And what that means is where the bullet goes into the shell is a smaller diameter than the bullet itself. Usually around .296 for a .316 bullet. It's very hard to find those. I've actually found some online. I'm hoping to get some of those next time I shoot this. I've got 3 shells loaded up, and my target's at 25 yards. I haven't tried this now that I've measured everything out, but let's see what happens when I do. This is the Remington Rolling Block 32 rimfire loads at 25 yards. Well, YouTube, there you have it. As far as the first shot, where that went, I cannot tell. I might be able to tell when I look at the video again. I don't know if it just veered off because I was aiming right dead center, and you saw where the second and the third shot went, and they're actually fairly consistent considering I'm using, 310 diameter round ball that's got a flat spot on it. But the problem is, this is the inconsistency you get when you're using a lead round ball, but unfortunately this is what I've got for the moment. But at least with a little bit of work, I think if I can get a bit more consistency, then this gun will probably do a little bit better. I am, like I said, going to try to get some healed bullets for this so that I can get hopefully better groupings out of it. And they're 90 grain bullets. They're very close to what the original loads were, original bullet size and bullet diameter. And that's the other problem with this, is these are 310 diameter bullets, and this is a 315, 316 diameter barrel. And it's as best as you can do with what you got. So, but again, if you can weigh out the loads a little better, and you get the lead round balls to where you need them to be, you can see the accuracy isn't bad. Again, I don't know where that first shot went, but this is only the second time I've shot it like this. So, but again, it's better than paying $150 for a box of 50 rounds that once you're done shooting them, you're done shooting them. You can't do anything with them. And that's the cheapest I really have found that ammo for. And I had a 32 rimfire about 15 years ago, same gun as this, number 4 Remington. And I found that half of the bullets would not, no matter what you did, and you could see they had a clear hit on the case. They were misfires, and their accuracy was not that great. So, I'm going to keep working on it. But here you go, folks. I mean, for those people out there with your 32 rimfires, don't convert them. There's a lot of these guns out there that are still in 32 rimfire. I've been myself writing letters to the ammo companies saying, hey, look, you guys could be real heroes if you run even a limited batch of 32 rimfire ammo. There's well over several million of these guns between the 32 rimfire revolvers that Smith & Wesson made and the off companies made, and the Remingtons, the Stevens rifles, the Hopkins and Allens. There were Marlin rifles. Winchester made their single shot 1885 and 32 rimfire at one time. There's well over a couple of million of these guns out there, and to see somebody convert one to, say, 32 centerfire, yeah, you can use it, but any collector's value is gone. So that being said, YouTube, I hope to get some more videos out. I'm hoping back in action for some time, and there you have it.